this is Jocelyn's event. She has an interesting mount opening, a combination of 2 head springs. Big skill coming up here. It's an aerial skill to a back handspring. Aerial cartwheel, there's the back handspring, very well done. Jocelyn has nice clean lines on the beam, and I think what I'm most impressed about is not only the difficulty in this routine, the judges certainly recognize that, but she has a nice flow to all her movements. You don't see her stopping for a very long time to prepare for her skills. Split leap combination to a cat leap full. Now that cat leap full is a 0.1 bonus. Again, you can see that the girls are getting a lot of bonus points for certain moves that they perform. Very, very tough to do. That double turn is a very difficult skill, almost as difficult as any aerial layout move on the beam. This is the highlight of Jocelyn's routine. She does a lot of tumbling right down the full length of the beam, and she'll dismount right off the end. 2 back handsprings, to a layout, to a full twist, nice dismount, good routine. Another outstanding routine by the freshman Jocelyn Rathbun, and her freshman teammate before, Elisa Panzeroni, scored a career best 9.65, and that's an outstanding score for a leadoff person on the beam. You wonder now with Jocelyn up next how high these scores can go here, but Florida has been put in great shape on the beam by the 2 freshmen, Panzeroni and now Jocelyn Rathbun. Well, Jocelyn actually mentioned to Ernie Weaver that she was a little bit afraid to be closer to the end in the lineup. She felt a little bit more comfortable going up early because she didn't have time to worry about the skills. So obviously that has paid off for the Florida team. And getting some congratulations from her teammates. And there in the shot, you see Kia Ellis in the back, who injured her foot earlier this season, another one of the freshmen. Here's Jennifer Kraling on floor exercise for the University of Minnesota. Ooh, double back to open. Tough move right there. There's a 0.5 deduction. She landed awfully low on her mount. Good choice of music, obviously a great piece for any university audience. She never stops, Dave. Look at her go. Very strong dance. An Arabian in a tuck position. Now that was another miss, obviously having a very tough time on this exercise. Dave, I don't think she's had one slow part in this entire routine, and she's getting set for her final tumbling run. Jennifer ends her routine with a full twist, still with as much energy as she opened with. So a tough time for Jennifer Kraling on the floor for Minnesota. Now we move back to the beam where Melissa Kutcher is in the midst of her routine. The score for Jocelyn Rathbun was a 9.70 this evening. You know, she's been having an outstanding season. How nice to see for this junior. She's been in the all-around every time out and putting in some of her best performances. She's getting set for a dismount, a back handspring with a full twist. Obviously ecstatic with the routine. That's 3 in a row. And from Melissa Kutcher, we move over to Lynn Crane on the vault for Penn State. Lynn Crane, a senior out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You can see she has a career best of 9.70 this season. She's been a very solid performer for Penn State throughout her career. She had some injury problems last year, but she's been a very solid performer. Lynn chose to perform a layout Tsukuhara. She normally does a front handspring in a tuck position. That vault is out of a 9.7 value. And we move back to the beam where we will see Lynette Whittmeier for the University of Florida. Lynette with a season best of 9.65, but scored 9.80 as a career best 2 years ago. And she was really Florida's most consistent all-around performer behind Janice Kerr. And then, of course, she had a knee injury last year and sat out last season. She's been coming back and working bars and beam for Florida. Lynette opens with a very pretty mount showing both strength and flexibility. There's a press to a handstand. I can tell you that's not easy to do. And here's where flexibility and strength will show again, and a nice plunge. Of course, holding it for at least 3 seconds.
The score for Melissa Kutcher was a 9.60, so Florida has a 9.60, 6.5, and 9.70 so far.
Now, early on in this routine, Lynette will do her acrobatic skill, back handspring to a layout, nice and solid. Switch leg lead, holding her leg up in a position, very nicely done. Actually, that switch scale is a C with a 0.1 value, so her routine's moved up already to 9.7. She's also performed that layout very successfully, so that moves it up to a 9.8. Back handspring, here's our combination of jumps to a pike jump. Now that particular jump also gives it another 10, so now we're up to a 9.9 in a routine. A little bit of a wobble, you can see her covering up with some dance skills. Aerial front tuck, and that skill is another 10th, so Lynette's routine is out of a 10.0. The dismount is relatively easy because of the knee injury she had last season and a step on the dismount.
But a nice routine by Lynette Whittmeier, and that should score very well and keep Florida moving toward a big score on the beam. Now we move back to the vault where we have Allison Barber for Penn State, who is their school record holder in the all-around.
Actually, Allison is right up there in the standings. Beautifully done. What an awesome front handspring in a tuck position. That was an outstanding vault.
Stuck the landing beautifully. Probably the best we've seen here, certainly tonight, and one of the better ones we've seen all season. And now Allison Barber for her second vault.
Actually, Allison can throw a half twist with this vault, and that would increase the difficulty to a 10.0, but she does the same vault. That is an outstanding vault. It has height, distance, it's clean, certainly very powerful.
And we move to floor now where we have Jessica Wolf for the University of Minnesota. Jessica, just a freshman out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
And watch this opening. She has planned a triple twist. Not quite completed. It was about 2 3/4. Nice change of pace in the music. Double back in her middle tumbling run. That's very impressive. Nice to see. Here's where we pick up the pace in the music. Front handspring with a half twist. Her teammates are really getting into it. Double twist and powerful dance and very good tumbling.
And Jessica Wolf for the University of Minnesota, the freshman out of Oshkosh, with a very lively performance and some tough tumbling passes. And there we have some crowd members. Again, a lot of kids in the crowd. They get started on gymnastics very early here in Gainesville.
Little guy on the right has a nice orange mouth there. Nothing but gator colors.
And again, getting their fill tonight. 4 teams, 4 events going at the same time. Of course, they key in on Florida. And here is Chris McDonald for the University of Florida, who has tied the school record this year with a 9.9 on the beam already. So trying to carry on what has gone before. Lynette Whittmeier's score was a 9.70, so Florida has no score lower than 9.60 on the beam this evening.
And a beautiful opening mount for Chris. She does that planche as well as anybody. Here's a big skill here. 2 back handsprings to a layout. She's right on. She's such a pleasure to watch on this event. Nice choreography, a good blend of athletic skills and dance. Valdez. She's moving so well, nice and high up on her toes. The judges will take notice of this. This is a nice skill. Split leap to an aerial cartwheel. Bang, she's right on. This is one of the best routines I have seen this season from Chris. Obviously comparable to that 9.9 she scored early on.
Chris McDonald for the University of Florida, and we have seen 5 outstanding beam routines from Florida this evening. Of course, the only one left will be Tracy Wilson, who is usually Florida's best beam worker. And let's take a look, and she's in the midst of her routine now, Elfi. She has done a clean routine up to this point.
She's done a great job so far. This is a big skill or dismount, round up back handspring to a full twist, and a perfect landing. An outstanding set of beam routines from the Florida team, you can see.
No doubt the best in school history, because they were on pace to set a school record, but all 6 hit, no falls, and you can see, if we can show it, the team just very excited about this whole opera. Tracy Wilson, her last night here in the O'Connell Center, and coming up with a great beam routine.
What a way for her to end her senior year at the O'Connell Center. They've just been treated to one of the most outstanding beam routines in the country. This is a routine that should make the national championship finals. Look at the round back handspring full twist. She knows it's important to stick that landing.
And it'll be interesting to see her score, because Chris McDonald scored a 9.90, which tied her school record, which she set earlier this year. And there is an ecstatic Florida team. You can see very, very excited. Melissa Kutcher in front there just can't believe what they accomplished this evening, and it was a great, great effort. They're waiting to see Tracy Wilson score. It's going to be tough, because Chris McDonald had a 9.90 already, and they're going to have to find out if they can top that score. Of course, we've seen 110 in this building already this year. Everybody waiting to see what they come up with, but this is definitely a school record. And here is Allison Barber, who had a great, great vault for Penn State.
And this is why, Dave, she's one of the best vaulters in the country. Take a look at the speed. Effortless vault. Absolutely outstanding. Handspring onto the horse. Nothing wrong with this vault as far as I can see. Front. Opens it up, actually, has plenty of height. And sticks her landing. Beautifully done.
And Allison Barber was rewarded. And there's the score for Tracy Wilson on the beam, a 9.95 school record, the top ever in this building. And we will be back for what should be a sensational 4th rotation when we return on Sports Channel. Top vaulting score in the evening, and in fact, the best we've seen in the building all year long. And here we go. There is that score, 48.90 for Florida, shattering the school record. The former record was 48.40 against Alabama a couple of years ago. But look at that consistency, 9.65 through 9.95, the scores that count. And Melissa Kutcher had a 9.60, which did not even count this evening. Now, as we move over to the other scores, Minnesota on floor exercise, a solid 47.20. Jessica Wolf with a very nice routine, a 9.70, leading the way for the Gophers. On vaulting, Allison Barber with that spectacular vault, a 9.90, and a very good team score, 47.80. In fact, a better vaulting score than Florida this evening. Florida had 47.75, and you see some other solid scores, 9.55s from Kobe Silver. And then for William and Mary, a little bit of a problem on the bars, but still a pretty solid score, counting 9.4s, 9.5s, and a 9.6 out of Sherry Susie. So 46.85, William and Mary on its way to its top team score this year. And there you have it, Florida, 145.15. Penn State with a very good score, 143.70. And Minnesota and William and Mary, I'm sure both happy, 141.15 for William and Mary, 140.45 for Minnesota. And starting the bars rotation for Penn State is Jada Hiltabrand.
Penn State has a really tough bar team. They were working out in the Florida gym the last couple days. They were on their spring break, so they've had a chance to enjoy the Florida rain. Not a lot of sun out there. Good solid opening for the Penn State team.
Jada Hiltabrand for Penn State. And as we move into this final rotation, we want to let you know that Florida, based on the scores up to this point, if Florida can get a 48.60, which would be a school record on floor exercise, they will have a shot to set a school record for overall scoring. So that's what they'll be aiming for when they get to floor. Now the first vaulter for Minnesota, Kristen Allstedt.
Nice vault, a full twist on, full twist off. That vault value is only out of a 9.9. She didn't quite complete the ending.
Kristen is a sophomore out of Apple Valley, Minnesota. And here is Allison Barber for Penn State. She has a career best of 9.55 on the bars and has had a very solid meet for Penn State up to this point. In fact, she had a 9.6 on the beam this evening, so she's had a very nice evening thus far. And also a 9.60 on the floor this evening, so she's in the chase for the all-around title right now.
Allison's having to wait just a little bit because there's a floor exercise routine going on right at the moment, so her mount takes her right out to the floor exercise.
And that floor exercise routine is Jocelyn Rathbun from Florida. This is her second tumbling pass.
Actually, Dave, I had a chance to peek over quickly. She opened up with a double tuck, and it was very successful. Second tumbling pass was a double twist. Getting a little bit of a smile there. Difficult ending, but a very nice routine.
Jocelyn Rathbun, who has performed very well for Florida this year with a nice opening floor routine. And we move over now to the vault where we have Monica Yuhas-Naj for Minnesota.
Monica is planning to do a front handspring vault in a tuck position. Value is a 9.9, not a bad vault. Her legs were spread quite a bit on that particular, on that first vault.
And now this is Allison Barber for Penn State on the bars.
Nice mount, a handstand that will get her some bonus points. Free hip circle, she's moving into a release move. A Delchev quite a bit away from the bar. That's a tough move to do. It's a half twist with the front salto. Now you can see at the top of the bar, she's going to move her hand over. She crosses her hand. There's her front flip. You can see she was coming down quite quickly and just really didn't have enough to hang on to the bar. Moving back down on the low bar, of course, picking up where she left off. Casting to the handstand, giant swing, into her dismount, front flipping with the half twist.
And we move back to the floor where Carrie Robideau is up for Florida. This is her first tumbling pass.
Double back to open. She actually had a little bit of rotation, took a step on the back.
The opening score for Jocelyn Rathbun was a 9.50 for Florida.
Carrie has come a long way. She started off the beginning of the season, has really worked hard, improving all her choreography and even her tumbling skills. Teammates in the background trying to cheer on, get her through to the end of the routine. Of course, this being the most difficult of the 3 tumbling passes. Trying to end with as much difficulty, a front through to a full twist. Nice double turn. Carrie should be pleased with that routine.
Carrie Robideau, the freshman out of Tallahassee, who was a walk-on here at Florida this year and has performed very well on the floor exercise all season long. And next up on the vault for Minnesota, Kathy Zolkowski, who's had a tough night. Rough bars, and then the beam, she had some problems, but still going strong.
Powerful vault. Just at the very end, she opened up a little bit too early. That's a handspring front vault in a tuck position. The value is a 9.90.
Kathy, a senior out of Neenah, Wisconsin. And right now, Minnesota like William and Mary, in good shape to get a good score tonight. If they can just come through in their final rotations, they could get in the mid-180s. And next up on the floor for Florida will be Melissa Kutcher. The score for Carrie Robideau was a 9.65, which is her season best.
This routine is a lot of fun. Melissa's very much a crowd pleaser. She has a lot of difficulty in this routine, and we'll see if she can keep it in balance. She has had problems. Combination, front through, and she'll do it right to a double pike. Big opening, nice landing.
Big night for Melissa Kutcher up to this point.
Second tumbling line, double twist, a lot of over-rotation. She has been known in the past to have too much adrenaline, Dave, and that showed just on that second tumbling pass. She's going to learn to conserve her energy just a little bit more. Now Melissa really has to get pumped for this final tumbling run. She's planning to do a double back. Very tough to do in your final tumbling pass, and it will give her a D and a 0.1 bonus if she can land it. Very well done, and a very solid and secure landing. That's nice to see. Good night for Melissa Kutcher.
Very fine night for Melissa Kutcher, who had her best all-around ever last week against Alabama with a 38.45, and she's going to be over 38 again this evening. And next up on the bars for Penn State is Janice Rogers, the school record holder in this event, with a 9.80.
Janice is a very pretty athlete to watch on this event. She has a nice clean line, very similar to Christina McDonald. Handstand with a half turn on. Now you can see the coach getting set to just shadow spot this move. It's her big release skill. She'll do it in combination, giant swing. There it is right there. Tkachev, I thought she had the bar. You could hear her hit her heels actually before she caught the bar.
So Janice Rogers will try to regroup now. And we're going to move back to the floor now. Tracy Wilson with her final performance in the O'Connell Center. Tracy has a season best and career high of 9.75. The score for Melissa Kutcher was a 9.75 on the floor, and for Melissa, that was a career best.
I think, Dave, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy this one. Big night for Tracy Wilson. What a pleasure to watch.
A great finish to an outstanding home career for Tracy Wilson, the senior out of Canada. Tracy, of course, out of North Vancouver, British Columbia. Now we'll move back to the vault where Minnesota's Jessica Wolf is up.
Good vault, handspring in front in the tuck position. That vault's worth a 9.9. Jessica performed that really well.
And back over to the bars, it's Lynn Crane for Penn State. Penn State is on the verge of a very big road score, and they need to get a strong finish out of their last couple competitors.
Half twist handstand on. This is a nice move right here. It's called the Shapashnikova. It was named after a very famous Russian athlete back in the early 80s. Giant swing. Moving back down to the low bar. Lynn swings well on this event. She has nice lines, good extension on her kips. Giant swing to handstand. She's getting set for a dismount. Double back summy. Good landing. Excellent routine.
Nice job by Lynn Crane as we move right back to the floor where Chris McDonald is up for the University of Florida. The score for Tracy Wilson tonight, a 9.70 on floor exercise.
And again, back-to-back, just two very beautiful floor exercise workers. Christina has excellent choreography. Nice opening. It's called a Rudy. It's a D+2 value. Double twist, middle tumbling pass. You know what's really nice to see is they know where their landings are, very secure. That's the type of team that will score well at national championships. Christina's going to end with some more front tumbling, obviously not having the double back summies or anything of the kind in her routine, but she gets all her value parts. A little bit of a problem there, Dave, actually. She was supposed to do a front handspring at the end there. We'll see if the judges picked up on that.
Chris McDonald, so a little problem on the final tumbling pass, but enough solid choreography in the middle to probably get a pretty solid score. And the final competitor on the bars for Penn State, Kira Rome, and Penn State was in a position to have a very big road score, and they've had some problems on the bars. That's their third fall off the bars.
Unfortunately, and this is one of their top events. They have some outstanding bar workers. They have a lot of difficulty. Kira, of course, her only event is the uneven bar, so that's a bit unfortunate to miss on your one and only event. That was a big release skill, and she does have two. Very few athletes in the country are performing two release skills. That was a very nice Ginger release move. She's very neat and clean, Dave. She reminds me of Christina McDonald up there. Nice clean lines, good handstand work. A lot of difficulty there. Giant with a full turn to end with a giant full twisting dismount.
So Kira Rome completes Penn State's evening here in the O'Connell Center, and to complete Florida's evening, it will be Pam Titus on floor exercise, the senior out of Holbrook, New York. This will be her final floor exercise, and of course we see some great skills in this routine this year already. A 10-0, of course, the only one in the country ever actually in NCAA competition. Go ahead, Elfi, you can correct me. Hope Spivey
Dave,
from
I
Georgia.
just wanted to say last week, Hope Spivey from Georgia scored a 10.4 on this same exercise. This is a big one for Pam.
Well, let's say she was the first one to do it.
She was the first one, that's very true. Oh, outstanding opening, layout double pike. Just caught a glimpse of her mom up there in the audience. Can't get too anxious. She still has halfway to go. Middle tumbling pass, double twist. One, Dave. Double back to end. Good height, a little bit short on her dismount. Nothing too major, a 10th or so. This is a nice routine for Pam. A lot of pressure coming into this final routine in her final meet at the O'Connell Center. Good showing.
Pam Titus, and I'm sure a lot of memories going through her mind right now as she gets ready to go off the mat. There is her mom. Pam Titus' mom very happy. Pam Titus might linger a little out there, and with good reason. Her and Tracy, the two seniors, and the crowd very appreciative for what has been a great career for Pam Titus. Let's take a look at the second tumbling pass, Elfi.
Well, she not only had an outstanding first tumbling run, and that was the tumbling pass that she had problems with in the competition against University of Alabama. There's her second tumbling pass, showing some other difficulty at double twist. And Mom definitely loved that routine.
You can see she was very happy with that. The broadcast rights to tonight's telecast have been granted to Sports Channel Florida by the University of Florida, solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this program without the express written consent of Sports Channel Florida is prohibited. And we will be back with the final scores after these messages on Sports Channel. Friday at 6 p.m. Be sure to catch all the latest scores and highlights of all your favorite college sports from around the Southeastern Conference. That's only on Sports Channel, home of the SEC. Check local listings for availability in your area. And at the O'Connell Center, we've seen a great meet tonight, and from Florida standpoint, one of the best in school history. As you can see, 193.70, that score tied the all-time school record, which was set, ironically enough, against Penn State 2 years ago in this building, almost to the day. In fact, it was March 3rd, 1989. And we will find out, of course, there are always some score changes as we go along, and we will find out what those are in terms of the team scores. But here are the official scores on floor exercise for Florida. Pam Titus with a 9.85, Melissa Kutcher a career best 9.75. Florida counting everything from 9.60 up for a 48.55. That is a school record on floor exercise. Florida set school records both on the floor and the beam this evening. On the bars, Penn State, a score of 48.30, which is a good score, although I have a feeling that team score is not added up correctly because there are some 9.2s and 9.35s they are counting in there. I believe that is 47.30. Minnesota on the vault, 47.75. You can see 3 9.60s, and then Monica Yuhas-Naj with a very fine score of 9.65. And on the beam, William and Mary, all kinds of problems, a high score of 9.10, team score of 45.50. And now here are the Florida seniors being honored. Head coach Ernestine Weaver out there with Tracy Wilson on the far right, Pam Titus in the middle, and Kim Day, who has competed in the past. There is Tracy Wilson. It's been a wonderful night for her. She's had probably her best meet of the year, and she finished it in great fashion. Pam Titus, also a very solid night, a good, strong performance on floor and a solid vault. And Kim Day, who has vaulted some in the past and has been very helpful in building some scores for Florida in past years. We'll be back at the O'Connell Center for the individual awards when we return on Sports.